So the first thing is to get rid of Bolsonaro, right?
Yeah.
And to get rid of Bolsonaro, you need to elect Lula, or do you need to elect?
No.
Not Lula.
We don't think in elections yet.
Okay.
We want to defeat Bolsonaro in the streets.
By impeachment?
By impeachment.
Okay.
Or forcing him in the streets.
Forcing him out of office?
Yeah.
Like an actual revolution?
Actual revolution.
Absolutely. Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And so, I'm riding the subway here in Rio de Janeiro for the first time ever in my life. I've been on the subway in Sao Paulo before, but this is my first time on the subway here in Rio. And it goes directly to where these protests are happening. So pretty convenient. I'm gonna get there a little bit early, get some coffee, get some grub, maybe talk to Bob Marley, and then start talking to the people. So it's gonna be interesting because as well as there's a lot of Bolsonaro supporters going to this rally, going to this protest, there's plenty of other people that are counter-protests from his rival political party, the PT, the Workers' Party. And so hopefully I'll be able to talk to people on both sides and get a little bit of a feel of what's going on. The Rio subway, by the way, a lot cleaner than the New York subway. A lot cleaner than the subway in Boston, more efficient too. So I don't know, this is only the orange line, the first line I've ever ridden here. But smooth so far.
Everybody.
Uh-huh.
Because in Brazil we still got like a lot of poverty.
Okay.
And a lot of like people live in a really bad situation.
There's a big socioeconomic divide here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly why we are in the streets today, to fight for rights.
Inequality.
And equality. And to fight against racism. That's like what Bolsonaro defends. And he really wants to, he was planning on doing an anti-democratic act today. Like against the Constitution and against all of that. Which is really bad, of course.
Do you mean by like causing this insurrection and getting people riled up, or what do you mean specifically?
No, to break the Constitution and to act by his own ways, like do another military
coup.
Military act. Military.
It's a French word, coup.
Yeah.
Coup, like a military takeover, right?
Exactly. Like the research has already shown that if we actually have Lula and Bolsonaro, Lula wins.
Lula will win.
Yeah.
It seems like one thing that I'm always struck by here in Brazil is that our countries, Brazil and the United States, I think have a lot of similarities. Like I think kind of like what you're talking about, Lula. He has his flaws, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not perfect. Anybody can say that.
Exactly.
But because so many people are against Bolsonaro, that just like in the last election, like Joe Biden was not like America's sweetheart candidate. But so many people were so upset with Trump that they voted for Biden because they were just sick of Trump's 4 years of craziness. So it seems like we're experiencing the same thing here in Brazil. So it's really interesting from a gringo to have that perspective and to see that happening here when I saw it happen last summer. So Sophia took me to her student union group right outside where they're meeting to go to the rally. And now she has to get permission to see if the gringo can come in, to see if I'm cool enough, if I'm down. Or I don't know, maybe it's maybe because of their politics, they might not want to mix with a gringo. Again, I don't like to speak my politics. I'm just trying to observe. That's why I'm here. I'm not going to say my opinion. I'm just trying to observe and ask good questions. Well, so I was just denied access into the student union party, which is interesting. I guess they didn't want me filming. It's not that they didn't say I could come in. They said they didn't want me coming in and filming the people because of security reasons. I'm standing right in front of a statue of Joaquim Jose Silva da Javier, better known here in Brazil as Tiradentes, which means teeth puller. So Tiradentes was a dentist. He was grew up in my state, where I'm moving to. My state, I love saying that. My state, Minas Gerais. And he started a movement for democracy and independence here in Brazil after the U.S. War of Independence in about 1780, 1785, right around there. Fact check me, please. But because today is Brazilian Independence Day, which happens later because Tiradentes was actually hung once the Portuguese found out his plot that he had to organize a rebellion. He was actually killed here, trialed, and then hung here in the city of Rio de Janeiro. I don't know if he was hung exactly here. He might have been, which we might be standing on famous ground right here. But so this is Praça Tiradentes right here in Rio de Janeiro. Very fitting for Brazilian Independence Day and for these protests in favor of Bolsonaro and against him in the name of democracy. Então, I'm here with a friend, qual é seu nome?
Robson.
Robinson. And I wanted to show you guys Robinson's shirt that says, foda-se Bolsonaro, e se você gosta dele, foda-se você também. Which means really, fuck Bolsonaro. And if you like Bolsonaro, fuck you too. Então, você, essa camisa, tipo, causa muita luta, né?
Ah, sim.
Você acha que tipo, a Lula vai ganhar no próximo eleições?
Na atual conjuntura, tudo indica que sim.
Yeah.
Mas de qualquer forma, a gente crê na derrota do Bolsonaro, mais do que na vitória do Lula. E principalmente a gente precisa construir a derrota do bolsonarismo.
O mais importante é para tipo, tirar Bolsonaro e parar o movimento de nacionalismo. Então.
Isso.
So this is very interesting to see Petrobras that seems to support the PT, the Workers' Party, and the party of Lula. Also on that note, very interesting because Petrobras was the company that Lula was in bed with, that Lula was doing a lot of embezzlement with, making millions of dollars for politicians on the left. And from many people, from my experience, Brazilians that live in Boston, telling people that, oi mano, posso ver seu placo aqui? A sign says, Bolsonaro ladrão, impeachment é a solução. Bolsonaro is a thief, impeachment is the solution. Bolsonaro é vagabundo. Yeah. So there we got a mendigo, a homeless guy that doesn't seem to like Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro vagabundo. He says he's a vagabundo. It's like he's a piece of shit. Vai votar Lula. Lula. Beleza, obrigado, mano. Show, com Deus. Cool guy. I got, obviously, that guy, I'm sure he doesn't have the best living conditions. He might very well live here on the street. And Lula was loved by the poor. As I said in the previous video, Obama said that Lula was the most loved politician in all of the Americas. And part of that is because Brazil, unfortunately, is a very poor country. And Lula gave a lot of Bolsa da Família, which is welfare, to the poor people of Brazil, and thus getting their vote. So I'm here with my friend Pedro, who I wanted to ask about his flag. A sua bandeira, não sei como falar, o hammer.
UJC.
Do soviético, do comunismo, né?
Sim.
Então eu queria falar com você, tipo, você é um movimento aqui é para tipo levar socialismo e comunismo ou socialismo aqui no Brasil?
Posso falar inglês ou português?
If you speak English also.
Okay. We fight for socialism, but we fight to the delegate of Bolsonaro. We want socialism. We are the PCB. Partido Comunista Brasileiro, the Communist Party of Brazil. We want to defeat Bolsonaro and have a socialist revolution in Brazil.
So the first thing is to get rid of Bolsonaro, right?
Yeah.
And to get rid of Bolsonaro, you need to elect Lula, or do you need to elect?
No.
Not Lula.
We don't think in elections yet.
Okay.
We want to defeat Bolsonaro in the streets.
By impeachment?
By impeachment?
Okay.
Or forcing him in the streets.
Forcing him out of office?
Yeah.
Like an actual revolution?
Actual revolution.
Absolutely. Wow, nice. Cool, man.
Yeah.
And so, is it because of Bolsonaro, or did this problem start before Bolsonaro?
Started before.
Okay.
All the bourgeoisie government is wrong, it's bad, the people are starving, we have disappointment, and we have a revolution. We have to organize our comrades with the revolution.
I know many Brazilians that live in my state in the U.S., Massachusetts, that they say they're afraid. They left Brazil because of Lula and a lot of the fraud going on, with a lot of the embezzlement, and a lot of them are afraid that Brazil could be the next Venezuela. Does that worry you at all? I mean, Venezuela is a socialist country, and it had under Hugo Chavez many benefits for a while, and then things have really gone downhill. So do you worry about Brazil becoming a Venezuela type state?
If Brazil was Venezuela, we were better good.
You'd be better off than you are now.
Better.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pedro. Ciao. So, I just got asked to stop filming by two guys wearing all black, Antifa type people. Same shit, different country. And so I found that was really interesting. I was asking them if I could do an interview. Bom dia. And then they told me afterwards that that I couldn't film for security because in the past they had been threatened. And then they asked me to leave if I wanted to film. So kind of crazy. It's a little tense here for sure. So behind me, there's an effigy for Bolsonaro saying genocida right there. So people here, I want to ask them, what has Bolsonaro do to warrant one of the strongest words of any language, genocide? So I'm going to ask some people about that in a second. But it's so loud. The energy here is crazy right now. Another interesting sign behind me that says vaccine no braço, comida no prato. Vaccine in the arm and then food on the plate. So that's another interesting thing about here. Bolsonaro obviously has his own convictions, similar to Trump maybe, about the coronavirus and the lockdowns. And then people here that are on the left, very similar to people on the left in the United States, have their own opinions about coronavirus, vaccine mandates, and all that. So again, I want to tell you guys watching at home, if you don't know much about Brazil, it's a huge country, 27 states. The United States has 50 states. And it's such a huge country, mass-wise as well. Just as in Utah, you'd have a very different culture than San Francisco. And then here in Rio de Janeiro, you have a much, much different culture than you might find in a place like Tocantins or in Minas Gerais. So really interesting. I was asking about the effigy of Bolsonaro back there that said genocida. And I asked the guy, I said, why? Why are they saying Bolsonaro has committed a genocide? And a guy, very interestingly, he started to talk about because Bolsonaro doesn't wear a mask, and I had my mask like this. And he said, people that don't wear their mask correctly are committing genocide, which I thought was a little crazy. Again, I don't want to say my opinions on really anything political or anything on COVID, but I don't know if this is the same thing as Adolf Hitler sending 6 million Jews to gas chambers. But I don't know. People here are very divided. There's a lot of tension, and things are crazy. So yeah, right now it's about 9:30, 9:40, and so I'd really like to see it on the other side. So I'm going to try to find a moto taxi and get down to Copacabana and talk to some of the Bolsonaro supporters while I still have battery at least.
Antifa aqui tem um sentido mais amplo, que é no sentido antifascista, mas que congrega movimentos que são anarquistas, socialistas, de esquerda, né? Tem partidos diversos envolvidos nesse movimento.
E vocês acreditam no socialismo? Vocês querem socialismo aqui no Brasil? Qual é a meta de vocês? O que vocês querem para o Brasil?
Como eu te disse, são várias organizações que estão que estão participando desse movimento.
Então,
algumas são estrategicamente socialistas, outras não, outras são só movimentos sociais.
Mas tudo de vocês está unidos para tipo o fora Bolsonaro, para tirar Bolsonaro de oficina.
Exatamente, é a luta antifascista que está unificando.
Por que Bolsonaro, tipo, porque ele faz tipo nada para os pobres, porque tipo ele tipo faz ruim para o Brasil, porque ele é nacionalista ou porque é importante para tirar Bolsonaro?
Antes de mais nada, porque ele é fascista e como todo fascista ele representa o poder econômico, a elite abastada. E no caso dele, aquela elite mais reacionária, racista, aquela elite que quer manter seus privilégios e manter a população desassistida pelo poder público, pelo serviço público. Então a luta pela igualdade é uma luta contra essa elite, que é a elite mais reacionária, que é essa elite que representa o bolsonarismo.
Entendi. We're getting off now at Copacabana to go see the Bolsonaro rally. People are lit. The energy is high. Bolsonaro! We're at the Copacabana station down here in Rio de Janeiro. The energy is unreal. In Bolsonaro we determinação, pero I believe in Bolsonaro. Lula ladrão ficar no prisão. They're saying Lula, a thief, stay in prison. Stay in prison. So, we're off the metro, thank God, because there were so many people on there that it was getting really stuffy. It was getting a little hot. So now we're out in the street. We're walking down to the beach. And, man, the energy on the metro was insane. So I gotta make sure I save a little battery because I really want to show you guys this. I got my charger with me, so if I need to, I can stop, give it a charge real quick. But this is really unbelievable to experience for a gringo. This isn't even the main protest. The main protest is in the capital, Brasilia. And there's another protest in Sao Paulo, Curitiba. All cities throughout Brazil today for their Independence Day are having these marches for and against Bolsonaro. And so the one we just saw earlier, the PT, I thought that was a decent sized turnout, but it's nothing compared to this. So it's been interesting because in this last 5 weeks I've been here in Brazil, I've been seeing a lot of anti-Bolsonaro propaganda, also on the news and everything, especially with the way he's handled the COVID situation. But then I come here today and I see all this love for Bolsonaro. E aí, bom dia.
Brazilian loves Bolsonaro.
So there's a guy here that is like a deputy, and he's got, it says here, políticos bandidos, cadeia e paixão. Political thieves, that would mean prison and coffin. So normally, I would never ever have my cell phone out like this in Copacabana. Some guy on the train was telling me that everybody here is family, that it's safe. So I don't know, I got my DJI so I can show you guys right here all the people that are out. We got the beach over there. It's a beautiful day. People showing their Brazilian side. Dance, yeah. I saw somebody earlier with an Israeli flag. Bolsonaro and Netanyahu. I don't know about the new prime minister of Israel, but the old prime minister up until a few months ago, Netanyahu and Bolsonaro had a very strong friendship. People here are loving it. People here proud to show their culture. People here proud to talk to Americans and talk about what life is like here. So, okay, here we go. There's a dude over here that he's got a sign. Medical sanctuary, passport, no way. So again, kind of similar to what's going on in a lot of European countries. What's going on in the United States, liberdade, freedom. A lot of people here, they don't want to have Brazil. Liberdade. People are good, Here she's got a sign. Don't mess with our freedom. Chinese communists, beat it. You speak good English, Okay, I made it here to the beach, and it's a little less crowded, but still a lot of love out here for Jair. And so show you guys the waves. The waves are popping today. Today would be a good surf day. Yeah, and then there's some people out here just having a regular beach day, enjoying their Independence Day holiday, and then other people that are out here showing their love for Bolsonaro, right there. So from all over, it seems like everybody here is psyched. Again, like I was saying a second ago, in the 6 weeks that I've been here on this trip, I didn't think Bolsonaro had much love. It seemed like Lula would probably win the election pretty easily next year. But now the vibe I'm getting is making me think a little different. Just trying to compare like that PT meeting that I went to, their protest, and now the Bolsonaro protest, or parade more. There's a lot of love here. So yeah, it's a happy independence. What's up? Yeah, you guys speak English? Fala um pouquinho, yeah? Então, posso falar com vocês para meu canal de YouTube? Vocês apoiam o Bolsonaro? Então, tipo, parece, pela minha perspectiva, que tem muitos jovens que não gostam dele, mas vocês gostam dele?
Sim,
yeah? E se lá na escola, se vocês falam que vocês gostam de Bolsonaro, tem muito, tipo, pessoas que não gostam de ouvir isso? Então, não é fácil, né? Não é fácil. Por que vocês gostam de Bolsonaro, se posso perguntar?
Porque a gente acha que ele é diferente dos outros.
É tipo, ele não é corrupto ou o quê?
Não é corrupto e... ele faz muitas coisas boas pelo Brasil.
Sim. Tipo, ele dá Brasil em cima de todos, como ele fala. Yeah?
Deus acima de tudo.
Let's stop talking about politics for 1 second and just appreciate this sandcastle. Look at this. Look, it's Mario. Mario and Peach. Yeah, Mom. We got my homie here that's got a sign that says Comunismo é o caralho. It's like communism is shit. And then it says
It means communism is by cock.
communism is your cock. Yeah. But we don't say cock for like tipo uma merda, né? And the other, já basta maldito sistema. Like enough with the fucking system.
Yeah.
Like, so this is kind of interesting behind me. They're selling flags, and they have the Brazilian flag. They also have the Brazilian flag, but instead of the earth, the globe, they have the Flamengo sign. Then there's some signs for the soccer team, one of the soccer teams here of Rio de Janeiro, Flamengo. And then finally they have an Israeli flag. As I was saying, Bolsonaro and Netanyahu, the past prime minister of Brazil, made a lot of friendly relationships and made a lot of progress together. I don't know about the new prime minister of Israel and his relationship yet with Bolsonaro, but in the past there's a lot of love. There's a lot of muito amor para Israel. Aqui brasileiro, tem muito
Israel,
amor.
beautiful country. I
Yeah.
love Israel. Thank you very much for your support,
And the
Israel.
US and the USA.
And USA, I love the people too. Help us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations. We are together, man.
Here's the Motor King. So
Beleza.
I'm here with my friend Reginaldo.
Yes.
And I was asking him, you speak a little English?
More or less.
Yeah? I was asking him, telling him about the United States. They say Bolsonaro is racist. And then I saw him here as a black man,
Bolsonaro, no race.
No
No race, no. The best government in Brazil.
the best president of Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah? Por que, tipo, você acha que a Medea fala que ele é racista, tipo, nos Estados Unidos? É para sujar o nome dele?
Eu acredito que sim. Acho que a proposta é destabilizar ele como presidente, né?
E tem prova, tipo, falando que ele fez coisas preconceito no passado, ou...
Não. Pelo menos eu desconheço qualquer prova assim que seja real, né?
Aham.
A maioria das provas são montadas em relação a isso e cortes de reportagem, etc.
Então você acha que mais ou menos é tudo besteira, então?
Sim, mas assim, quero levar em questão que hoje nós estamos aqui mais pela liberdade de imprensa, né? Liberdade de imprensa, no caso do estrangeira ou brasileira, também liberdade do povo, mas por questão do STF, porque tá prendendo pessoas por opinião. A gente está aqui para expressar a nossa opinião.
Para parar de censura.
Sim, a questão é que o país tem que ser livre. Todas as pessoas têm que ser livres nas suas opiniões.